where residents of Sokode, Gbogame in the Volta region have experienced an unprecedented flooding in the month of June this year after a heavy downpour submerged a stretch of the newly dualized Sokode Ho Highway a few meters away from the Gbogame runabout. The incident impeded vehicular movement from both directions, increased travel time and caused discomfort to both drivers and passengers alike who were stranded in an unusual traffic jam on the day. My colleague Maxwell Weram Chigbe visited the community to find out the cause of the flood and has come through with the following report.
Sokode Gbogame is a community within the Ho Municipal Assembly of the Volta region, few kilometers away from the regional capital, Ho. It is one of the communities located on the main Accra to Ho Highway, playing a pivotal role of a converging point for alternative routes which link the Greater Accra and Volta regions together. In the afternoon of June 15, 2025, a heavy downpour which lasted for more than 4 hours resulted in an unprecedented flooding within the outskirts settlement of the town. The flood completely submerged the median stretch between the runabout and the newly built abattoir. The incident hindered vehicular movement with cars stuck in a queue of traffic jam and partially submerged in the gushing flood waters. Not to fall victim to the rapid water current, commuters remain seated in their vehicles with less or no movement at all for fear of being swept off the road into the deep open drain and carried away by the flood. Meanwhile, an empty articulated truck had to be rescued by the median curb as its wheels lost grip on the road due to the increasing volume of the flood water. However, luck eluded some religious and economic establishments within the enclave, such as the Global Evangelical and the Celestial Church of Christ, as well as Malisanat Hotel and Gardens, which could not evade the wrath of the flood. Excess rainwater was equally gushing out from homes far away from the flooded stretch of the road. Prophet Jaswell Gabriel is the presiding priest of the Celestial Church of Christ. According to him, although there had been series of flooding in the past years, the dualization of the road aggravated the recent episode due to the poorly constructed drainage.
The cause of that problem, it is all about the bridge. If they are able to expand the bridge, if necessary, expand the gutters to the small cover that they did here, they can expand it and expand the bridge. This is not a bridge, it's like a gutter there. They should expand the bridge and make it a standard bridge. Then you see that all the problem will be solved. I will not say that the assemblyman is unaware, he's aware. And he approached them. Now, but they couldn't pay attention to him. What they were doing is what they were doing. They were a bit rude over the whole situation. They didn't pay attention to anybody's opinion.
Meanwhile, Reverend Isaac Emmanuel Mauliklimi, the district pastor of the Global Evangelical Church, also confirmed the perennial flooding in the area.
They came to clear the area, thinking that maybe the flow of the water is not constant, so that will solve the problem. But it couldn't solve the problem. But what I realized that when the water is passing, it carries some particles. Then the particles blocked the entrance of the bridge, because the bridge, I don't know whether I should call it a bridge or a culvert, and the outlet is very small, so it blocks the outlet. Then the water started coming back, and then before we realized, the whole place was flooded.
On his part, the assembly member for the area, Mark Billions Bansa, narrated how he was patronized at the Department of Urban Roads in Ho in his attempts to ensure value for money.
During the dualization of the Sokode Gbogame 10.5 kilometer stretch to Ho, we as stakeholders realized that no, the kind of drains we are having and then the sort of culverts that they are putting on board would be detrimental to the people living in the enclave. So quickly, myself, my opinion leaders, together with some chiefs, have to move straightly to the DUR office at Ho, Department of Urban Roads to be precise. There we met with the engineer in charge of the project. Then we told them that no, the carrying capacity of their drain and then the volume of water that goes through this stream, we are not too sure the drains can carry the volume of water, neither can the culverts, carry the volume of water. So I suggested it would be proper we get a twin culvert instead of a box culvert. So in those deliberations, I was asked that am I an engineer or an assembly member. So quickly I told them that no, your comments are derogatory. If I want to become an engineer, I can equally become one. Likewise, if you want to be a politician or assembly member, you can become one. But I have been living here all my life, and I know what goes on by this stream. So the culverts will not be enough. Lo and behold, it rained, and then it was, there was massive flooding all over, affected properties, affected people's businesses, and what have you. So all we are saying is that Department of Urban Roads should get back. Let corrections be done.
All attempts to speak to the management of Malisanat Hotel and Gardens proved futile, as they claimed that the disaster had no adverse impact on their business, except that their frontage had its share of the flood but was no bigger cause for alarm. The aftermath of the flood left pockets of sand on the road as traces of intense erosion. A visual assessment of the culvert constructed for the Gbogame stream during the road realization project also revealed the water channel is undersized and unfit for purpose, particularly during prolonged heavy downpours. It is very disheartening and a disgrace for a community admired for its properly coordinated settlement plan, which laid out buildings evenly spaced with a drive-through vehicular mobility, to be downgraded to a flood zone and a subject of ridicule. It behoves the appropriate authorities to put measures in place to avert the recurrence of these perennial floodings in the community. Reporting from Sokode Gbogame in the Volta region, Maxwell William Chigbe for Pan-African TV News.
Meanwhile, the assembly member of Sokode Gbogame, Millions Bansa Dixon, further explained that human activities resulting from attitudinal indiscipline in recent times have contributed significantly to the perennial floods in the community. According to him, his law enforcement efforts to curb those misbehaviors have been misinterpreted as a trait of autocracy and abuse of power by the residents.
The flooding cannot be associated to only the drains, like you rightly put. We have human activities also contributing. You see, people who are upstream, I have always been advocating that let us stop littering our drains. People who are upstream, when the cloud starts to form and they know that definitely it's going to rain, then they will go and pour their refuse into the drains, thinking because they are upstream, when it starts raining, the water will carry them to only God knows where the water will carry them to. People are against the polluter pay system, where they will go and dump and pay at the refuse dump. Another factor is that people build close to the stream and close to the drains. People build, and even when you come chasing them for permit, they say, oh, this young man is becoming a thorn in our flesh day in, day out. He comes to chase us to do this, to do that. The fact that you have money to purchase land doesn't mean you should purchase land at a place where it's waterlogged. That is how come we always push that. Before you build, come for a permit. The permit is to ensure that wherever you are building, would ensure that in case there is flood, can you be rescued? In case there is even fire outbreak, can the fire service be able to assess and put off that fire? Those are some of the basic reasons. But usually people feel that you want to become an autocrat or a tyrant, you want to be full of so much discipline, and they don't adhere to some of those things. So those are also issues that I am trying to handle, and day in, day out, I continue to sensitize my people that let us stop dumping in the drains and let us stop building on waterways. So most of the apartments we have here close to the stream or close to the drains, we have told them that very soon my municipal chief executive and the entire works and planning team from the assembly, the engineers will be coming over, and they will be advised accordingly. The fact that they don't have permit and they are built on waterways, the laws will catch up with them. Going forward, NADMO presented their reports, and it indeed indicated some of the things I pointed out earlier, that human activities and then the drains. Currently, we have a new engineer as in the regional director for urban roads. He also said my initial points were so valid that they would have to come back and look at the culverts and then the various drains and see how best they can work on some of these ones. So reports have been presented, things are in place, stakeholders are putting their heads together for this thing not to repeat itself again.